audio, starting video. And 3,
What up,
2, 1.
What's
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Corridor
What's up, everyone? We are
What's
in the
up?
pre-show of the podcast.
Yeah.
We've got Sam, we've got No Signal, and we've got myself. This time, this No Signal is not Daniel. That's just...
Yeah, it's a third mysterious guest who will be revealed in a few minutes.
when they get here.
I think let's just get into it today. Let's skip the pre-show. We're gonna go right into the podcast, guys. We'll still do a post-show. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry.
But there is so much going on that I think we should not wait.
All right. Okay, ready? And 3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Corridor Cast. We are here. We got myself, Wren. We got Sam here. Nick should be with us here in a little bit. He's busy currently. You know, we got a lot of stuff going on, but he'll be here in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Wren, in case you didn't know. And you guys are busy because next week you're gone.
I keep forgetting about that. I got to tell my coach that I'm going to be gone next week.
Hey, coach. I'm going to be gone next week. It's going to be like that.
Yeah. So we're going to NAB next week, and I'm pretty excited about it because originally I was intending to not go. I was just like, there's no way I will have time to go to NAB. I'm going to be way too busy with the training 8 times a week, twice on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 0 times on Fridays. But I started realizing I'm going to want this time off. So I
Yeah.
started realizing I actually specifically do need to go to NAB just so I can have a little bit of rest.
Yeah, I'm getting FOMO. I was like, when you guys were scheduling, I'm like, I'm not going to go. And it's mostly post-pandemic laziness because I haven't gone now since like 2019.
You should go.
No, I'll go next year.
All
I
right.
think my life is so freaking hectic
I don't
at
think
the
anyone
moment.
will go next year. I think everyone's liking the every other year sort of, because I went last year all by myself. I was
Nice.
the only one to go, and it was an okay time. I had fun hanging out with
An
friends, but it
okay
was just
time.
like
Yeah.
I was there, and I was like, okay, I guess.
Well, then I'll do it in 2
I'll
years.
go home
Whatever.
now. Sure. No, I'm very susceptible to FOMO. It's like if I feel like I'm missing out, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's crazy though. I mean, I don't know. I wonder what it's going to be like this year because, like, dude, I talked to Dean after seeing this new Runway ML stuff that dropped, and he's like, yeah, I'm kind of having an existential crisis right now.
Yeah, no, remember
And-
when I talked about it on the podcast like a month or so ago whenever we were looking at that stuff, and I was like, it was the first time I ever felt like I was having an existential crisis about who I am as a creator because
Yeah.
of what AI tools can do, and now they've, of course, as expected, they've gotten better.
Yeah.
And so specifically, Runway Gen 4 dropped a couple days ago. Is that the name of it?
Yeah,
Sam?
they call it Gen 4. So it's like they're doing the thing where they're like, oh, like ChatGPT 4, so we have to be on 4 as well.
But there was a Gen
You know,
3, wasn't there?
There's a Gen 3.5. Claude is on 3.7. You know, it's
Okay.
funny how all these companies are just matching their numbers. You know, I think it's kind of funny.
But so
no,
I mean,
no
but-
one's done the leap though. That's what I'm saying. No one's done the leap where they've gone from like ChatGPT 4 to ChatGPT
like 7?
5,000.
Oh.
You know, they, like an Xbox 360 moment. You know.
Right.
I'm waiting for that.
Because it went from the first Xbox to the Xbox 360 because that came out at the same time as the PS3. So they couldn't come out as the Xbox 2.
Or the Xbox 3. Either.
Or they couldn't just skip 2. But they also just, you couldn't have a product that's competing against a third generation as a second generation, even though technically it is.
Yeah.
So that's why they're like, all right, we have to somehow call it the 3, but what's a better word than 360? That's cool.
Then they do Xbox 720, or no, that was Xbox. Well, whatever.
No, then they immediately followed it up with or not immediately. When the next generation came out, it was the Xbox One.
Xbox One.
That's so funny.
And now it's even more confusing because there's the first Xbox,
Box.
the Xbox One, and then there's the new Xbox, the Xbox One.
I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And then
I haven't-
there was another generation after that, which was like, well, I don't even know. It was like the Xbox like X
Yeah.
in the chat. What was the next Xbox after that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I growing up, I was an Xbox kid. Well, originally I had a PlayStation 1. That was a lot of fun when I lived in Louisiana. And then finally Halo
Yeah.
Xbox
Oh, yeah.
changed my life.
Yeah, of course.
I was very into that. Xbox 360. I got the I remember getting the Legendary Edition of Halo 3. And when Halo Reach came out, I got the Legendary Edition
Legendary
of Halo
Edition.
Reach and
Yes.
the Xbox, the Halo Reach Xbox 360, the themed. I spent a lot of money that night.
So, dude, there's
Midnight
a lot
release.
there's a lot
I
of
needed a new Xbox.
there's a lot of ways this can go here because we can talk a little more about NAB and what you guys are up to.
No, I want to keep talking about Xbox. No, I'm playing.
Because the thing is, we could also talk about the new Switch stuff, which is kind of sweet.
I mean, I think let's talk about Switch stuff
But we could also
first.
talk about this runway stuff.
We'll get into the gen stuff, but we're already talking about
Okay.
game consoles. So this
Switch-
morning, Nintendo held Nintendo Direct.
They're doing it. They're doing Switch 2 after.
So they announced it a couple months
7
ago
years, I guess?
after
Yeah.
a year of leaks and rumors. So we finally got to see it.
Dude, $100 for a game? Or no, $80 for a game?
Yeah. So
Oof.
that's I actually got up early this morning. I woke up at 6 a.m. so I could watch the Nintendo Direct thing, and then I fell asleep for 45 minutes. And then at 6:45, that's when I actually started like going
Dude,
through the whole thing.
Like the game,
just skipping through it.
A $60 game is like the Costco hot dog, you know? Like I feel like games have been $60 since I can remember basically. I remember like
Yeah.
in Target and it's like $19.99 and I'm looking up at the shelf and I'm seeing games and they're $60.
They actually used to be more expensive. The Nintendo 64 games used to be like 70 or 80 bucks,
Holy crap.
like in the 90s.
Well then hold on. So in that case
So then they
people are
got
complaining.
cheaper. And then with inflation, games stayed $60. So over the last 20 years of games being $60, they have been going down in value to the game companies.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing, though. At the same time, the video game market as a whole has expanded. So it's like a thing where, you know, you're basically, it's data at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's free to replicate at a certain point.
Yeah,
It's
there's
free.
no overhead costs.
There's like
on
the overhead
distribution.
is ultra minimal. So as long as the overall gamer user base is growing, you're making more money. You don't need to
Yeah.
raise the prices of your games to keep up with inflation.
Right.
And that's what I feel like has happened over the last 25 years since, you know, Nintendo 64 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of funny seeing this finally happen because, like, hold on, are we reaching peak gamer? Are there no new
What?
game? You know what I'm saying?
What?
Is the gamer market as saturated as it can be? Is that why they have to
I
raise the
don't know.
prices on the games?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why, but I've been feeling game price increases coming for a long time now, just because I'm like, I feel like it's inevitable. They started doing that with like the special editions being like $10 extra, legendary editions being like $20 extra, and
Yeah.
that was just a way to squeeze a little bit more money out of it. But here's
Yeah.
the thing: Mario Kart is $80 digital, $90 for the physical copy. And that's kind of crazy to me. Plus, the Nintendo Switch is dropping at $450, which is more expensive than I was expecting.
Yeah, well, maybe the half glass full version is Mario Kart is $90. But it's cheaper if you get it digitally. You know what I'm saying?
It's even cheaper if you get the bundle. So it's $500 for the Switch 2 and Mario Kart together.
You know, honestly, like, oh man, that's the thing, which is I feel like that we should normalize that. Like, digital games should be cheaper than physical copies.
They are.
And from but everyone's
Or at
been
least-
paying that.
I guess they aren't they?
I
You'll
ca-
spend $60 on an Xbox disc.
Well, here's the thing,
Or a
I've-
PlayStation disc,
I've
but it'll be the same cost digitally.
I've stopped buying digital games on the Switch because, like, it's so. I feel like such a dumb person spending all this money on games. Like, my Steam library is just. It's gargantuan. It's like it is.
Sure.
It is like a monolith that blocks out the sun when you scroll down it. But you know, when it comes to the Switch games, yeah, like I've stopped doing the digital stuff because it's so nice to just buy the game, play it, and then go, am I gonna play this again? Nope. And then you sell it, and then you basically just keep doing that, and now suddenly. Games, you only like lose $5 or $10 each time you buy a game, basically.
I totally understand the argument for selling games. I've just never had that mentality. I've never been able to sell a game. I've never really been able to like sell anything, to be honest.
It's so easy.
I struggle to return
Dude,
items
it's
to
like
the store.
for the Switch.
It's like if I buy something and it's like not exactly what I wanted or what I needed, I'm like, well, too bad. I guess I'm stuck with that forever.
I know.
I'm never returning it just because my brain can't do it.
I was like that. I got better though. You just gotta like treat. You gotta just treat it like it's just like a circular economy. When you're buying from
What
like
up,
a
Nick?
corporation.
What up, dude?
What's up, Nick?
Hey, how's it going? Sorry
Yeah.
I'm late.
No, all good,
got
all good.
sucked into
We're
an
just
AI
talking
rabbit
about
hole.
yeah, sure. We're just talking about the new Switch 2 launch or the new announcement about it. Pre-orders are going up in like a week and a half or 2 weeks or something like that.
Until there's a
1
new
week,
Smash though,
next
I'm
week.
not buying it. That's the bottom line.
I got up this morning like all prepared to pre-order the moment it could. People were saying, "Oh, pre-orders are gonna like go away right away," and then I'm now kind of just like, I guess maybe I'll wait. I don't know yet.
Do you
I'm
guys
undecided.
even play other games on the
Yeah,
Switch?
I've been playing
You just
Pokemon
been-
other than
Scarlet,
Smash?
Smash.
I want to play the new Mario Kart.
My kids are getting into it. Yeah, I mean, the new Mario Kart would be great considering they haven't made a new game in like 15 years or something like that, right?
Not quite 15. Mario Kart
10?
8 came out on the Wii U. That would have been around like
2014,
2013.
So yeah, over 10 years.
Yeah.
That's
like
insane.
12 years,
It's
yeah.
insane how like apparently these gaming geniuses in Japan couldn't like come up with some dang lollipop map for you to drive your little scooter on.
Well, they
Like,
did. No, a few years ago they came out with a whole like map pack for
yeah, but
Mario Kart.
no, but those are all just recycled, regurgitated ones. Those are all like,
Were they?
oh, here's one from the 3DS.
But they always it's always a mix. They always have like a certain fraction being like remastered maps, and then a certain fraction being brand new maps.
I don't really remember the brand new ones. I think they're all remastered. It was like, here's from the GameCube. This one's from the Wii. This one's from a 3DS. Here's from a, Nintendo
Sure.
64. Like literally, there's literally an N64 map. I think.
I hear ya.
I think there's a remastered SNES map.
The reason why I prefer the digital versions over the physical copies is just pure convenience. And also, I hated the time where I really wanted to play a game, but I didn't have the physical copy on me. Because when I got the original Switch, I bought physical, like Mario Odyssey and like Breath of the Wild. And there was one day I really wanted to play Breath of the Wild, and I didn't have it in my case, so I couldn't play it. And I was like, oh man. And I was like on a trip. I had to wait till I get home to like play it again. So I was like, that was stupid. So ever since then, I've been just buying everything digitally.
Oh wow! Look at what Garrett has said in the chat. Switch 2 cards are key cards. They have a key to download, and no content is on it. Isn't that crazy?
Wait,
They're just
what?
like, they're like little. They're just little info cards. What about when the apocalypse hits? What about when you want?
What are we gonna do?
When you go off the grid and you want to play your $100 Mario Kart game alone?
That's when you get your checker set out.
Yeah, I guess that's when.
Checkers.
Back to physical games.
Well, anyway, I was
so
really excited for
crazy.
the Switch 2, and I might still pre-order it, but I don't know. We'll see. There's a whole complicated process for pre-ordering. You have to log in with your account, and you have to have had 12 months of their Nintendo Online, and you have to have had at least 50 hours of gameplay on that account for you to be allowed to apply for a pre-order. And then when pre-orders drop, you might be accepted into the program to be allowed to pre-order the Switch 2, in which case you'll have 72 hours to pay for it up front.
gosh.
And then you'll be able to get it June 5th.
This is some hype.
And I'm like, I don't even know. Maybe I'll just wait till it's out and see if I can get it. They're trying to clamp down on like scalpers and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
But anyway, in a world where the Steam Deck is a thing, and every game you want to play is basically on it now, the Steam Deck literally plays Switch games better than the Switch.
Yeah, I don't have.
Switch
thinking about
2
getting
as
one.
I don't have that stuff, but I have emulators on my Steam Deck for like GameCube and Wii, which is kind of pointless considering with the motion controls in every game. I'm sitting there like they truly made it so you can't pirate Wii games. I feel
my
like because
God.
the moment you boot anything, like I don't
Get
want to
the real thing, man.
I don't want to deal with troubleshooting how to get this motion controller equivalent working or turn it into like a joystick. That's like that's such a pain in the butt. But every other thing works pretty great, and that's super cool. Oh, but that's the thing with emulators and all those older games. It's like you think you're the boss because you got like 1,000 games, and you're like, don't want to play them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I got better stuff to do.
You're like, dude, check
the
it out. It
physical
works.
media
Anyways.
makes it worth it. Though,
Anyways,
yeah. I was,
Jan has a
when it's free.
PS1 emulator that is about this big. It's like an inch and a half wide and an inch and a half tall, and it's a little flip thing, kind of like that old Nintendo Flip. Or the Flip wasn't the name of it. It was the Game Boy that was like a little laptop thing where it flipped outwards. It's like that, but like a quarter of the size, and it's a full PlayStation.
mini
Tiny
PlayStation.
little buttons, and it plays
fun.
every single PlayStation game ever made.
Holy moly.
PS1.
It's all just loaded on there.
Yeah,
That's
I mean
sweet.
it's an emulator. It's a little.
That was my first
little
real
thing.
console, PS1.
Yeah, same. I had
and
the
64.
PS1.
We'd play that all the time, but
See,
I got the
my
itch.
neighbor had the N64, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I had the
no,
PS1.
I know
the
that
neighbor.
Christmas was so sad, dude. Like everyone
What?
got the N64, and I was like, "Dang, I got my freaking cards."
Well, N64 was fun. They were like
Dude, I love the PS1.
like the fun games were on the Nintendo 64. I feel like the true like we're having fun, and then the PS1 games were like that's where you get like the weird stuff. Where you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what the heck is this?
Yo,
thing?
do you remember Gex? Do you remember Gex, the game?
What?
No,
That was a weird fucking game, dude.
Spyro though.
Dude, I was all about Spyro, man.
Spyro,
Spyro-
was weird.
Spyro
a
was
little
the
bit more
best.
tame. Where my Gex heads at?
I remember buying Final Fantasy VII, and it was not the game I expected it to be. It wasn't the game I wanted to play, and I returned it like the next day. I played like 20 minutes. Like
Good.
I got a little bit, and I was like, "What is this? This is not what I want to do at all." And I think I returned it, and I got like Jedi Academy or something. It was before that game, I guess. I don't even remember what
Something
I got.
simpler.
But it's like, and then I grew up, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah,
Did you
Final
ever play
Fantasy
that?
VII is one of the best games of all time," and I was just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, right. Whatever. Yeah, I agree.
I kind of got the itch for like actually collecting like physical old vintage games because I went to Little Tokyo. Have you guys been to
Little Tokes?
the tunnel
Yep.
stores under
Yeah,
there where they
dude.
go deep
Garage.
under?
Yeah.
And it's just like these crazy like one shop after another of just like models and like gunplas and like old media. And I walked into this old like dusty media store,
dusty.
and there was
Dusty
like
physical media?
Super Nintendo cassettes just like in there for $1
I've
each.
been
I'm
in
like,
there.
Really?
They got some
Wow.
pricey stuff too. Some
dude, they do
rare
have
stuff.
some nice stuff. I know. I felt like I was in a video game in a store, and like, ooh, there's the nice armor on the shelf. I want to get that Super Nintendo, but yeah, I'm kind of avoiding that because I don't need another pricey hobby. So,
Dude, yeah, speaking of pricey hobbies, I just finally got back into like high-powered FPV drones.
Ooh,
I
you
just got a
mentioned
new
you
drone.
got a
I
new
haven't even
one,
gotten
yeah.
it like off the ground yet. It just
Pricey
arrived.
hobbies. Ooh, what a
pricey
pivot.
hobbies. Ooh,
Well, it's just like I've been lucky enough to
Luxury
just...
hobbies. Horse
I
riding.
collect gold and treasure. Yeah.
I collect countries and
Trees.
islands.
Well, it's just like the last several years, I've only been
Greenland.
flying the like the DJI drones, you know, like the Avata, or before that the DJI FPV, and it's just like
No,
it's
I get
all
it.
it's like a locked-in system, and
It's so
they're like
corporate.
heavy, or
Yeah.
not the corporate side. They have like kind of the best technology,
No, they
but
do.
I miss like flying my racing drones, which I kind of stopped doing around like 2020 or so, and so I'm excited to get back into it. So I got a new drone.
Nice.
Be able to put like a GoPro or like an Insta360 camera on it.
Was the last time you got a new drone the last Insta360 video we made? Was that the last like couple of years ago, or?
I mean,
have
the
you gotten
last
one
like
more
racing
recently?
drone I flew was basically the one for like the God mode camera, where like I
Right,
3D
yeah.
printed that whole thing with the Insta360 like dual halves, so like the drone disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Mom's like, "Hey, is FPV droning accessible yet?" It's like, yes. If you
Oh,
get it,
it's
and
super.
if you spend the money and get a DJI one, that is the most accessible you can get.
Yeah.
It obviously is a little more expensive, but I mean, you could make a tiny whoop. Tiny whoops are so cheap.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Like they're like $30, $40 if you really if you want to do FPV. Like that's
You can get into FPV
That is
for like
FPV.
under $200,
Okay.
and that includes the controller, the goggles, and the little
and,
drone.
and you probably don't
And
even have to like
batteries.
wire anything up. I'd imagine. Honestly, it's just like a battery.
It's not going to be great,
Plug and
but
play.
It's not
it'll
gonna be
work.
great. It's
You'll be able to
FPV.
fly
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, it's FPV. Yeah. Like
And-
anything good, if you want it to like get to that level, you either spend the money or do the time. You know.
Yeah.
So
What's the biggest like step up about the new drone you got?
It's just a little bit more modern. It's got the newest DJI camera on board, so it's got like that really, really crisp, high quality video feed. It's like 120 FPS, like 10 mile range.
Can you imagine blowing Steve's mind with that video feed? Not just the little
I
like
am the camera.
480p. Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I want to get back into flying. Because I've been flying the Avata 2 around a lot, and it's such a good drone. It really is. It just is very underpowered compared to what I want to do. It's great for like flying around trees or inside and stuff like that, but I want to be able to like rip across trees and do power loops
Yeah.
around trees and just like dive down the side of cliffs or buildings and pull out of the dive at the last moment and just have that type of power.
yeah.
Jake, I think that answers your question about if Wren stopped flying because of trees.
Oh,
I think
no.
if anything, he wants to defeat the trees.
It was just, I think the main thing is that like I only have so much space in my brain for hobbies, and it's like I
One
can
at
only-
a time. You
Yeah,
gotta stack
and
'em.
one wheeling kind of became a bigger thing for me, especially around when like Vesk started becoming a thing. I was like building my own one wheels and racing competitively and doing all that. It was like that was like kind of my
Yeah.
main hobby and focus outside
Yeah.
of work.
Right.
And so I would still fly every now and then, but not like these hobbies take up a lot of focus.
Yeah, they
hobbies,
do. I know. Your brain. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the physical media. It's like the cartridge where it's just like, dude, you plug it in, and I can play that one thing like 100%.
Yeah.
You know, but
Totally.
everything else has to
Yeah.
take a break. You know.
I feel like everyone in this room, we like go through hobbies, kind of just like
Totally.
from one thing to the next. I feel like you need it though when you have a creative
fun.
job. You need like another outlet.
It's super
sometimes.
fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I kind of bounce around. Like I'll come back to drones every now and then. I'll come back to one wheels every now and then.
Totally.
I mean, to be clear, I never stop one wheeling.
Yeah.
You know, like I still go on rides. I go up in Griffith Park or up in the mountains like literally once a week still, even with all my training.
Good job.
Like I'm probably gonna go tonight after training.
Hell yeah.
Level up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New skill points unlocked.
Man, you guys should see this my synth modular jam rack thing I built.
Oh yeah,
which-
you and Clint have been going crazy on that stuff.
yeah.
I've just been seeing
Modular
videos
synth?
every time he sends me a new video. There's another board.
Yeah,
added,
yeah.
Like,
Is that the ones where you have like all the wires that you plug in there and then over here?
Not
and like,
quite. It might look like that, but it's not that.
Just
that's called
Metropolis.
that's called Euro rack, and I have a
Euro
Euro
rack.
rack.
because it's or you could call it modular synthesis if you want because
That's the term I heard.
because basically modular synths are basically instead of you look at a synthesizer with all the knobs and buttons and dials and sliders, modular synths are basically, hey, I'm just buying the knob on that synth, so you might not have all the features, but you can combine them to make your own system. However, it's super expensive, and realistically it's like a very lonely way to play music because basically you can't like transport it anywhere after you build it. So it's like it's like, oh look, come into my room where I can play you the weirdest sound you've ever heard.
Come into my sound
And
chamber.
it's like, how much did it cost to make that one weird sound? It's like $30,000.
Whoa.
You know, it's
Oh my
like,
God.
Sorry, I'm kind of doing a
Check out my
sarcastic
mood.
approach to it, but also like it's kind of accurate. Each of these little mods cost maybe $50, but some are like $200 or $500 for just
then
like
you
a
can get
tiny
dozens
little
of them.
box.
Sure, it
that
adds
with
up.
one knob. You know. Anyways, so no, but what Clint did though, so we've been playing more music often, and he has all these tiny little portable synthesizers that you can play them all individually. But what he's done is he's taken this one awesome keyboard that has different MIDI outputs, has multiple MIDI outputs. So as you're playing on it, you can just literally hit a button and it will switch the keyboard's output to a
Nice.
different device.
Oh,
and it
cool.
also can sequence them. So basically, it's like a little mini synthesizer orchestra.
For all of your synths.
And like all of his synths are like the size of a phone. They're all like these Korg Volcas, which are basically micro synths that are about this big. And so he's a couple of them lined up over his keyboard, and he can sequence and play a whole thing.
Nice.
It's like a whole synth
I've got
band.
the NTS1, I think.
Yeah, that's
V2.
Yeah.
the V2 is really
and that's
good.
like it's technically got a little keyboard on it, but I that type of music playing for me is my type of like instrument because
Yep.
I'm all about like those little knobs
yeah.
and like modulating the sound a little bit.
And the NTS
but like
V2
actually
has
writing
the
music
buttons.
is
Yeah,
outside
Clint-
of my skill set.
Yeah, Clint's got one of those too on his setup too. So like, but that inspired me, and so I was like, okay, hold
I
on.
have the V2 of this.
So I had to build my own version of it
Sick.
using completely different stuff. So, but it's a very similar setup in the sense that it's 4 different synths. Two are like retro Roland synths. One is a drum and bass synthesizer, not like D&B, but like it does tons of drum samples and tons of bass samples for like every genre. And then one more, which is like a kind of like a lo-fi Sega Genesis vibe, kind of sequencer too. So basically, when you plug them all together, you can basically use one to control the rest of them and
Goddamn.
make like a whole song
New sound.
with like all these things all connected together.
And
It's
are
pretty-
you guys able to jam together?
you know what? We've tried plugging them
Because
in.
that's what I'm like kind of intimidated. He was like, yo,
Yeah.
we should jam. I got a new setup. And then he sends me this video, Sam. It's a 360 video.
Yeah.
It's like you're at a, like, what's the Rush drummer? You know, he is like surrounded by drums.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was just synths. And I'm like, dude, can I even play guitar to that?
So we've tried to link them.
How do I interface with this? I'm not a robot.
Every once in a while, we plug them into each other to try and get the clocks to sync and all, and the metronome and stuff. But like his is outputting at like a weird tempo. Or it's at the point where it's like whatever. Let's just like, you're at 100. All right, I'm at 100.
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
set a
yeah.
manual. You had to go whatever.
Just start beeping away. Dude. Just
then
plug it in.
then you just start beeping away.
Nice.
Well, dude, you got a freaking banjo hooked up with a speaker and one of
Yeah.
those NTS ones.
Cyberpunk
I was
banjo?
gonna
It's a
say
cyber banjo. You got LEDs on it.
Last year I
Dreadbox.
did an invention build where I made a cyber banjo because my brother has this thing called a transacoustic guitar, and it's a acoustic guitar that has a a mic built in, like a pickup built in, and it also has a speaker built in. You can buy these things. So it's an all-in-one, like, sound projecting machine. It sounds amazing. It has like reverb on it. It's awesome.
Whoa.
So I was like, I want that, but for a banjo, because like I heard these like space banjo songs and stuff, and I was like, I
Dude.
want to like just get a fully
Space banjo is a vibe.
self-sufficient banjo
Andy,
going.
Andy leaks like Genlock for synths. Is that a thing? Well, no. The thing is, like, when you're playing like this, as long as everyone's using a synth, there's two ways to do it. Either you can actually send a metronome, like a clock signal,
Okay.
through
Yeah.
like an eighth-inch chord, and that's just like you hear like a little click, and that'll sync
But
them.
that informs the
Yeah,
actual
or
percussion.
you can just straight up, like, if you have an extra MIDI out port, you can just connect the MIDI cables to each other and just make sure, hey, you're saying listen to that MIDI cable for like the metronome or whatever. So there's a lot of ways to do it. But yeah,
I've always been obsessed. Do you guys know who the Pete Box is by any chance?
No.
He's an artist who will do like live looping and make a whole song based off of just like he'll do a little bit of he'll like he'll lay down a little bit of beatboxing and then he'll like play a little bit of guitar and then he'll like do a bunch of different sounds and just like layer it up until he's got a full like orchestral song going. He's got a lot of really good music. He's very good. Very good.
That's cool.
And I've always just like admired that ability to just like create full spectrum of musical sound using only his voice and like a little bit of guitar, just based off of loops. You know, it's like
Looping's
you play.
so powerful. That's the next thing I want to put in the banjo, if I can fit it. It's pretty full right now, but I want to get a looping deck in there because the NTS one right now runs everything.
Because I got one of those MIDI setups. It's like a loop pad type thing, and it's got like the different pads on it, so you can like loop this one and then like play a little bit, loop the next one. But you have to like plug it into a computer for it to work. And I was hoping it could be something I could just like go out on a one-wheel ride and just loop it live. But those sets are a lot more expensive than what I got. I got like $100 thing, and I thought that was a lot. I love Beardy Man. Beardy Man's great.
Just look up Cyber Banjo build. Or
Cyber Banjos.
Dude, I had to 3D print Wren and design all these parts to literally hold all the elements within.
You got it.
Wait, what? You made a video?
Yeah, I made because people were asking on Reddit. It went viral on the Banjo subreddit. So I was like, I'll make a
It went
build.
viral on the Banjo subreddit.
I mean, viral.
That's
like
hilarious.
300 upvotes, but that's it.
Yeah.
And it's all in there. And
Dude, I remember when he whipped this out on top of a mountain on a one-wheel ride.
But yeah, like I had to print like these little like rack holders basically to hold everything in there. But it works, man.
Wait,
Yeah, that's super cool.
is that something to record with?
Yeah. It literally works with the H4. No, sorry. It's
Is that one of the zooms? Those little
throat
ones?
mic goes to a zoom, which interfaces into the NTS1 then.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And then so basically you're able to apply the basic reverb, and like delay and all that stuff.
So
to
the NTS1
to the mic feed of the banjo, and then also put in drones behind it though.
Yeah, hell
So that's the cool thing about the NTS1 Mark II. Is
So the
that you can do
banjo
all that stuff.
is the banjo naturally an electric banjo, or is
No,
the
I
microphone, the zoom is actually just acting as a microphone picking up?
No, that's a contact mic.
There's a contact mic
Gotcha.
that
Gotcha,
leads.
gotcha.
Actually, the next version I'm working on will have a totally different mic situation, way simpler. But
Why
yeah,
don't you
the
just
mic
install a
goes-
pickup?
That's the thing. It's hard. It's like, where do you put a pickup on a banjo though? Like
Well, I mean, is the drum skin doing any like resonating?
a lot of
actually?
it. But if you put something on there,
Okay.
the more you put stuff on there, like even sticking this contact mic on there was rough.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing about like resonance is that it's all about stiffness and mass.
Yes.
And if you put something on it, you automatically change both of those, and so
Totally.
the harmonic frequency of that is going to just naturally change.
Well,
Yeah.
I know what you have to do then.
I would love your advice on this, Sam. Is
I know exactly.
a musician, a
Sensei Sam
musically
over here.
inclined
No, but the thing is
person,
that
yes.
you need to build a custom bridge. That's what you have to do.
Interesting, okay.
You need to build a custom bridge.
Oh, that's it, dude.
because if the bridge is what's holding up the strings.
Yes.
And if you might
If I
even
did a mic bridge,
no, I was about to say you might even
No.
3D print your own
Yes,
bridge
you could do
potentially
that.
has like a little bit of a mount that you can have effectively a floating pickup underneath it that doesn't touch the skin, the
Yeah.
drum skin.
So I mean, if you did that,
that would also just
would
be
it
a great
still-
place to mic it.
Would it
Or
still
put a
sound
mic,
like
whatever,
a banjo?
yeah.
Would the banjo aspect of it
Yeah.
still work?
Well, no, if you put it,
As long as the skin can flap freely, you know.
well, that's
I gotta have that flappy
the,
skin.
the difference is that if you put like an actual pickup on there, it's not going to do the banjo sound. It's just going to do the
That's true.
strings.
It will sound more guitar-like.
It's going to sound a little more like an electric guitar
I
That's
heard
what I was
someone who
wondering.
did that.
than with a mic, but I don't know how piezo mics work because apparently piezo mics are what people use in acoustic guitars
Yes.
normally, and But I just have no clue.
I need to pick one up because I think that might be the next thing I try before I go to pick up, because I do want to keep that twangy banjo sound, of the strings slapping and the skin flapping. The
Strings slapping, the skins flapping.
That's why we play banjo,
Yeah, I don't know.
It's basically just a drum with strings.
Dude,
yeah,
the last
someone
time I
took
saw
a freaking
this setup,
tambourine. and put it on it.
Yeah.
dude, when you whipped us out on the mountain when we
Dude,
did
yes.
that mountain ride,
That was the final test of this, was can I bring it on my back up a
and
mountain?
that we went up to the top of Eaton Canyon,
Yes.
up to that visitor or that museum up there at the top of the Henninger Flats, and
man.
that whole place is burned down.
Oh my gosh, this took a
rip.
dark turn.
Yeah. Yeah, Jan and I went back there a
Jeez,
couple
man,
months ago,
really?
after, maybe a few weeks after the fire. Like, no one was really allowed up there yet, so it was pretty early when we were up there. And it's like the entire mountainside is just barren. And then you get up to the top where that big museum was, and those buildings and shelters.
I remember those
They're all
buildings.
gone. They're all
No.
burned to the ground. But the
visitor
trees
center?
are left behind. All the big oak trees are still there.
yeah.
But what's wild is that some of the trees were gone, and they were gone all the way into the roots. Like, the roots were missing. And so you'd
Literally
be
burnt
walking
down.
along, and all of a sudden you're like, what are these giant holes in the dirt?
These
It was
like
the weirdest-
smoking, smoldering holes.
But they were like, it looks like, imagine there's like a snake that got buried,
Yeah.
and then you just pull the snake out.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was stepping along, my foot went into a thing. I was like, "What the heck?" And I started realizing there's like this giant
cavity.
tunnel just
Interesting.
underneath the
Yeah.
ground. And it went deeper. So what happened was that like these trees literally burned away all the way to the roots, and the roots kept burning away, but the dirt stayed behind. So you have all these hollow, almost like lost wax casting type
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah. Yeah, fires can burn underground. People don't
But
know
all the
that.
other trees around them were fine. That was the thing. Like the oak trees were
That's
totally
what they're
fine.
not telling
You're lying.
Yeah.
The
Anyway,
hole was actually on fire.
that
you
was the
just
last
can't
time I
see
saw
it.
your banjo, which was we had a really
Yeah.
cool jam sesh up
That was
there,
a great
and that whole
session.
place burned down now.
Gosh darn it. Screw you, LA Fires.
Yeah,
Really?
screw you.
I lost another one.
So, but
That was a
you
great
got
jam
another
session.
you got another banjo like a month ago, didn't you?
I did. I bought
A month ago
Yeah.
today.
Banjo cast.
Dude, yeah, banjo
Because you went and got it on my birthday. I remember that.
Yeah. We met up for your birthday, and then I went to meet a luthier up in Santa Clarita who
Meat.
yes, he makes banjos in the traditional way out of gourds and
okay.
goat skin. So I bought like
Dude,
this.
now I gotta show you my synth setup though.
Dude, I gotta see
Okay,
it. I gotta see it.
Yeah, send it
I'm
to
sending a picture at least to Christian so you can take a peek. It's like a mega rack. I keep saying a rack, but it's not a
Mega
rack. It's a mega rack.
Mega racks and skin flaps.
Send it to my Discord.
It's not sending.
This banjo is
That
really
doesn't
cool.
work.
It's fretless too, so it gets this like boingy,
fretless.
boingy sound where you're like boing.
Boing.
Don't fret about it.
Yeah, don't fret about it. Literally, you can't. You can't do it. It's fretless. So I've been relearning how to play because it's all based on memory, and you have to every time you hit a note, you have to
Based
kind
on
of
memory?
Well, yeah, because there's no frets,
no
so it's
frets.
like a violin or something.
I
You
see.
have to just
Gross.
kind
Bone.
of know
Gross.
where to.
Gross.
Yeah. Sam's like, I can't.
Dude, fretless, yeah.
Hey Christian, do you know how to play guitar?
I feel like you
Yeah,
had
I
a
can play
fretless
on
guitar
I
once.
put some
Sam.
chords together, and I'm not like a soloer or nothing, but
Christian can kind of dip into a lot of instruments. I've
Yeah, that's
noticed.
kind of what I was
Yeah.
feeling.
I can put.
He was just raised by the note.
There's a lot of people here at Quarter that are like surprisingly musically talented.
Yeah, it's been a while since we had a big jam session.
I am
in
not
the
one of
studio.
them. I
I've
think I
seen
do
you
have
beep and boop though.
I have a knack for rhythm,
Yeah,
but that's about it.
as long as you have rhythm, you can play music.
Like I was very, very good at Guitar Hero. I'm very good at Beat Saber. That's why I wanted to get into
Yeah,
like
you played Beat Saber so much.
like very, very good at Beat Saber. But like musically, like I played a year's worth of trumpet as a kid, and I never liked it. I never really enjoyed it.
Isn't that the worst? Schools making you learn an instrument that you don't actually want to know. It's like, what the fuck?
Dude, check that out. Yeah, so it's
Whoa.
That's what it's going on now. So
Jeez.
so the black one with the stars on it is the I'm using as the main sequencer.
Okay.
That can basically controls everything else around it, which is pretty nuts. And so
synthesis.
yeah.
Didn't you bring one of these into the studio?
Yeah, no, totally. They
I
all
remember
swing
seeing
by.
that.
They all swing by. But yeah, that's like a retro Juno on the top right, which is a classic old synth.
Retro
top,
Juno.
and then the top left is like a super cool like 90s one. So if you want your like pan flute synthesizer kind of
Oh,
vibe,
yeah.
like jungle
That's
DK.
coming back with White Lotus, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. And then the bottom
Just
left
saying.
is the thing. It's got like every trance, drum and bass, electronic house, dubstep, whatever, minimalist.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's like it's pretty freaking sweet. Yeah,
This is really cool.
it's pretty cool. And then it's
I
all
wanna
drilled
jam
down
with you
onto a
guys.
single board that you can just carry as like one piece.
And I can just like you could pop a guitar input, bass input, anything in
Yeah,
there.
you can just like literally they're all daisy chained,
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
can
yeah.
just like keep adding to it
So cool.
basically, because they all work on the same thing. Yeah.
Dude, there was like a 2-month period of time last year where I got really into this stuff, and because we started doing like music playing on our one-wheel rides instead of playing Smash Bros. And like that was like you know what, we were talking about hobbies earlier, and every now and then I'll get a hobby that I get super into for only like a few weeks, you know, like I get very
all
into
that
it.
money, you're like, sheesh.
Well, I mean, ideally, normally they're not like
Yeah, yeah.
super, you know, expensive hobbies, but like I put a little bit of money into this one. I got like a small little Bluetooth speaker and NTS1 setup so I could like play while I was riding and stuff like that. And then, then one day I just didn't care anymore.
We should make you like a gauntlet that has the NTS1 like built in, so you can like be riding and be like, you know, like a little backpack speaker.
But you see, that's
I
the
feel
thing
like
is
that's
I'm
a
not
good
like
dream.
super into the actual playing of the music. I like,
Yeah.
I'd like to have like, so the NTS1 does have like a sequencer, so you can like program in some
So
tunes.
basic,
And then
though.
once I get that going, then I like playing with the reverb and the different types of,
Yeah.
I forget the names of them right now.
Yeah.
Feedbacks.
I
And
remember
stuff like
one
that.
time you were messing around. I think it was Nico's mixer.
Yes.
But we were camping.
Yeah,
and it was like really late and the
that
moon
was the
was
first
rising.
time.
Yeah.
And he was playing his little handpan, and he had a little mic hooked up to that, going to like his little mixer. And so I was basically just like making drone sounds off of his handpan stuff, and I was
So
like,
cool.
that is my favorite type of music making.
Hell yeah.
You were out there for that. I remember that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
The full
Every
moon.
time Sam plays guitar, I'm reminded about how good at guitar you are.
Thanks.
I'm just like,
very
dang,
kind of you.
oh my
wow.
God.
Same.
You know, I don't know how to play any songs, but I know all the chords.
I mean,
Sam's like, I don't know
I
how to
would
play any
trade that
songs
for
except
knowing
for all of
songs.
the songs
Yeah.
I wrote and released.
Yeah. Except for all my
Except for the albums I made, you know,
All
no
those
big
ones,
deal.
Yeah, right. So Nick, earlier we were talking about some of the Gen 4 stuff.
Yes.
Did you play with it or look at it yet?
No. Well, okay. I've been getting sent Miyazaki photos by people. They're
That's-
like, "Hey, check this out."
So
It's
that
us,
no.
but
Okay, so
Miyazaki."
there's Runway Gen 4, and then there's the GPT.
Yeah, GPT is what I'm
image
referring
stuff.
to.
Yeah. The GPT stuff is your classic novel, you know,
Okay.
AI thing. But
What do you mean by that?
well,
Classic novel.
I feel like it's
everyone's
pretty-
like, oh look, it can make
do a lot.
Ghibli images. Like this is it makes Studio Ghibli anything.
Yeah.
And for the first time,
like
I
how
felt
that's-
bad.
It feels like people are just discovering
AI.
this for the first time.
I watched that Lord of the Rings trailer.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? The Lord of the Rings Studio
Yeah.
Ghibli trailer?
It was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So basically, it's
Looks
like
like
they're doing
Ghibli.
image to image now.
Yeah.
Within ChatGPT, and you say make it look like a Studio Ghibli
But that's just
movie.
image to image. How are they making it video? Are they taking into
Oh,
first frame?
yeah. It's some,
runway
no, I don't
first-
know, something like that. They're running it through a multitude of things. Maybe it's Runway, maybe it's Pika, you know. But they're just taking the images that the GPT image generator is creating, and you know, just making a move. Which is why anytime they move, it kind of sucks. Like that's why the still frames look excellent, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting really good. It's really freaky. I still feel
Yeah.
like you need a mix of all this stuff to make anything actually good. But yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
So-
I've just been focusing on getting up WAN in Comfy so I can do what Runway can do without paying for it. Like that's my goal.
Me too.
You know,
I mean,
is
I
like-
would love to figure out what the alternative is
yeah,
to that.
yeah, because those credits are expensive.
Yeah, I mean, unless you pay, I mean, you have to pay like $100 a month for unlimited.
Yeah, it's
But the thing
crazy.
is that in the big scheme of things, like that's not that crazy if you're actually utilizing
Totally.
the unlimited credits, which I feel like I'm about to hit. You know, like that video last week was about 6,000 or 7,000 credits
Oh wow.
to make.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Maybe about 6,000. Yeah. So
Is that video out yet?
no, I think we put it up on this
Dude,
weekend.
It turned
Okay,
out
cool.
so good.
And then I filmed
A week of work.
I filmed a second one.
Oh, I know.
Yesterday.
Yesterday, every
What?
time I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
Sam, he was wearing a different outfit.
That's amazing.
It's really funny. It's another. It's
and it
even
was
funnier.
like 4 or 5 times yesterday. I'd see Sam, and he's wearing a completely different outfit.
I don't even want to tell you what it's about because it's a thing where you have to watch it, and if I'll ruin it, I'll spoil it so bad if I try and explain it. But it's the same character vibe where it's like, all right, we're in a dithered 1996 game cinematic,
okay.
and I think I honestly want to make like maybe 2 more as. Because
gotta use
I think
those synths
it
for them.
works as like a couple. Like one, you're like, oh, huh?
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, this is it's like, oh, we get the vibe.
Yeah.
We get the jokes.
I mean-
so considering how fast they are to make and like, yeah.
Corridor's returning to its roots. Video game shorts, dude.
It's true. Like,
I like
but
it.
it's so fun doing that like old school thing too. Like the whole like, hey, this is like a 1997 RPG kind of thing. Like I love that.
Totally.
Like,
dude, I gotta find. I'm gonna look up Gex, dude. You need to
Gex.
see this. You need to see this aesthetic,
Gex.
dude.
You gotta see this shit.
I feel like it's right down your alley, bro.
Unless you've seen Gex, you haven't lived.
It's so weird. I still have nightmares about this game, bro.
Nightmares?
Yeah, dude. Like I'm stuck in the level.
oh, you're stuck in a
Yeah.
Gex 64
Oh yeah,
out here.
dude. This fucking game
Let's
was.
play Gex.
I don't
Enter the
remember.
Gecko.
Enter the Gecko is so weird, bro. It's just this like, the graphics aren't that great,
This
but
looks like Spyro.
yeah, it was like wannabe low budget Spiral, but it gets very like. I feel like there's demons in this game.
Dude, you know what game
Like
I'm
you never can win.
Oh my god.
It's so chaotic, the movement already.
You gotta go. There's like a cyber city level that. Oh man, dude, I was just a little kid running around in this stuff. I didn't even like know how to actually walk, but
So let's talk about retro. We talked about video games. We're about to talk about retro video games, guys.
Yes,
But right before we do,
yes.
I need to sum it up. We were talking about Gen 4. What is Gen 4? Basically, it's image to video. It's really good. I'm using it to create data sets for these characters now instead of using the other workflows. You hand it a picture of anything and explain what you want that thing to do, and it does it perfectly.
Amazing.
Really?
It's incredible. So, for instance, I'm just making data sets. So I'm just like, orbit the camera around the subject.
Wow.
It does a 360. I'm like,
And it
perfect.
gives you
Then I take
multiple-
that and make a LoRa on the 360.
crazy.
Oh wow.
So you take the video it gives
Wow.
you, make images from it.
Yes, I know, which is kind of stupid because if I had the technology
Yeah.
that Gen 4 was doing, I wouldn't need to make the
Yeah.
LoRa.
Oh,
And
just give it a month.
Basically, that's what their system does. It's effectively killing this training process. You no longer have to train. I mean, well, you do, but you know, for instance, yeah,
You no longer have to dress up in a costume and take lots of photos of your character and then tag them by hand.
yeah, exactly.
Basically.
I mean, I think we're
Same.
entering that world.
Yeah.
But oh my god, I want to talk about this existential crisis stuff. But Gex is way more important right now.
Oh, I mean, Gex,
Is it?
you know,
Because I was about to
don't
say,
think it is, but
dude, I want to play Daggerfall. That's the thing.
Dude.
So I
yes,
played
the
Morrowind.
original-
That was, yeah, I was about to say that's before Morrowind.
I played
I've never
Morrowind.
played
I
it.
played all the ones, but I was thinking, you know what? I need to play Daggerfall. And apparently
fuck?
people have modded the crap out of it, so it's like,
It's a first-person game.
yes,
I didn't even know that.
dude, look, this is the game. This is the vibe
What?
I'm in right now.
Oh.
This is like where I live
delivering.
in my
I really wanna
mind.
play this now.
Like, doesn't this look freaking wicked,
Yeah, this looks sick.
dude? Like, I'm playing Avowed right now, so I hate Avowed.
What?
I've gone through this whole like I thought it was the best game ever,
Kingdom Come.
but it is like the worst. I know it's either Kingdom Come or this is what I play next.
This.
I actually don't even know what Avowed is.
Avowed is just like a super cool first-person RPG that has great graphics and on Unreal Engine.
Is that the one
And-
that has
and
like
it's
the
a-
super realistic?
What's it about? I've never-
Like the views of like the countryside and the trees. It's like somewhere in Germany or something.
No,
No,
that's
that's-
Kingdom
that's
Come
it. That's
Deliverance,
Kingdom
bro.
Come?
It looks
Okay.
like a photo.
Yeah, that's the one.
If you
I'm
I'm
thinking
just
stop,
I'm
yeah.
just sick of Avowed. Like it's like the combat's fine, but like, god dang, the freaking like story and the performances and like
It's
it's
wild, dude.
It's like
I'm just looking at.
it's just so boring. It's like the driest. Like they've managed to just take the worst parts of RPGs and like magnify it.
It looks very like AI gen. Like, give me a skeleton warrior who's also magic, and that like.
Avowed?
Yeah, I'm just looking at images right now.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a beautiful game and the
design.
environments are cool, but like it's just the writing is just quite possibly the worst game writing I've ever
Dang, man.
experienced. And also, there's no stealing.
There's no what?
Steel?
And there's no stealing
You
or
can't steal?
backstabbing. There's no stealing.
There's no
no
stealth system?
backstabbing. There's no assassinating. And also, they force you to have two companions throughout the game that are just stupid
Oh.
and annoying.
Sign me out, dude.
I know.
Sign me out.
Yeah, take my name off the
It's
list.
just
dude.
like it's like come on. Anyway, so it's really dumb. I mean,
Oy.
I thought it was gonna be cool, but it's really just like grating. It's grating me. Like each time I try to play it, I'm just like, this is so bad. Also, I played 70. I specifically paid a premium price,
Jesus.
$70 for this
Oh,
game. So I want it to be worth my time, but
Wasn't.
rip.
The price of a.
So that's
a
why I think I
half-finished
need to
game.
rewind the clock and go back to
Yeah.
1997
Dude,
when games weren't.
Daggerfall looks sick, actually.
Did you guys ever play
where
Descent?
can you play this?
I think
No, I
I think
didn't
you
play
just
this
download
yet.
it wherever you
It was
want.
an old PC game in the 90s.
Oh, look at this guy. I really tried, but I can't play Daggerfall
It's like
anymore.
2 megabytes.
Boo-hoo. Look at what a loser. Try buying Avowed for $70.
Seriously. Why can't you play that? What's so hard about swinging a mace? My
And what's
guy?
so hard making us just
Yeah.
randomly clicking
Press
as fast
E.
as possible?
Dude, do you remember freaking Morrowind combat, dude? Just just
Yeah.
spam, dude.
And then you like run out of breath.
and you just see little like puffs of red. It's just like,
Dude, there's
Yeah.
a rumor that like Oblivion was getting a remaster coming out soon.
oh man. I
What?
would play it.
I-
Oblivion, I probably have the most hours. in
Oblivion was like the
Oblivion.
only Xbox game I actually got 1,000 gamer points in. Like I got every single
I, like,
achievement in that
beat it.
game, and I think I played more time in Skyrim.
Do you know how
but I
much
didn't
those
get
gamer
everything.
points are worth now?
Dude?
What?
Millions.
You're like a billionaire in
Millions
gamer
of
points.
now. But yeah, Descent 1 and 2
gamer
were
points.
my two favorite games in the 90s because it was essentially a spaceship mining game.
Wait, what game?
Descent.
Oh yeah. Descent's pretty.
But it was
sick.
like it was like 6-axis motion. So you're in like the ship going through these mines, but you were able to like rotate
Yeah.
all around. It was like a full 3D sort of game.
Yeah, it's
where there's up and down,
the
left and
controls are
right,
crazy.
twisting around.
And
You
then
had
you
to have a
could-
joystick for it.
Didn't you
This
have
is
to-
wild.
Isn't there like roll too?
Reminds me
Exactly.
of Star Fox kind of.
Yeah. And you'd essentially like go through fighting all these different ships, and eventually you'd like destroy the boss or whatever, and you'd have to like you only had like a minute to escape the mine before the whole mine blew up.
Oh, stressful.
This was a game my dad and I would both play.
Nice. Yeah, this is such a
Oh
vibe.
man, this is
I
already
mean,
taking me back.
Me
Sweet
and my
too.
friend used to play like Doom. One of us would shoot, one of us would move on the PC. It was like original co-op game.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Or like Star Fox, man. This just brings me back.
But like you see how like you can go up, you can go down, you can twist around.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love the map
it's really
design. It's so
cool.
cool.
It's like this is why I love drones today. It's like this
This
was
is-
the video game for drones.
Yeah,
Dude,
really.
honestly, this is FPV droning. Like
Pretty much.
before. When was this made? Is this actually a nostalgic like old game, or is it just emulating that style?
No, this is the original
actually
game.
from okay.
94.
I think this
Wow,
is
94.
this Descent 1 or 2?
94.
I think this is
cool.
the first Descent.
I mean, granted, this is probably slightly remastered. I'm sure because
it does look like it's
Yeah.
slightly higher resolution.
Yeah, that's
Very
cool.
Yeah, man.
Dude, there's a whole FPV game that was on Kickstarter recently, and I backed it because it was basically a game like this but with FPV controls. Which, if you've never played or if you've never flown an FPV drone, but you have flown like a regular like Mavic or something like that, it's like a completely different control scheme. It's a much higher learning curve, but it gives you so much more control and so much more flexibility for flying around. That's why you're always seeing like drones
Yeah.
doing like flips and
Yeah.
dives and crazy spins and stuff like that. But there's no video game that takes advantage of that control scheme. And I think it's because the learning curve is too high. There's tons of
Yeah, it's hard to
simulators
actually
out.
do
There's
it.
like 24 simulators out
Yeah,
there.
there's no games.
But, like-
you're right. Like, where's your Ukrainian FPV bomber
Yeah,
drone
right.
game?
Anyway,
you know
there's,
that's what it's being used for.
there's a
there's
game that came out
There's
that
a
looked a lot like
simulator.
Descent.
They use simulators. I
And you
know.
can fire
Call of Duty
laser
7.
guns and
Call of Duty
missiles and all
7.
kinds of stuff. You're like in this futuristic spaceship, but it had FPV controls.
Dude, Call of Duty 7.
And then the Kickstarter essentially wasn't going to hit its goal, so they had to cancel the Kickstarter. And I put like I didn't back a lot of money, but I backed it. I didn't get like the bottom tier. I got like one of the slightly higher tiers. I basically played like a full price game for it. I was like, yes, finally someone's doing it. And then they canceled.
all right, here we go.
Womp womp.
Funny ideas for Call of Duty 7. I got two interesting ones. There's either the meta game because you're playing with an Xbox
Yeah,
controller,
yeah.
you know, just like real drone operators are sometimes. Like
They
the
are.
actual like Predator drones are controlled with Xbox controllers. So it's like a meta take on that. Or the other one is you do the Call of Duty 7 Future Warfare, and it's just a microphone. There's no controls, and you're just telling this like AI robot what to do. Basically,
yeah.
like
Walk
run in
in the
there.
building.
You're just walk in the
Clear
building.
building.
Shoot. No, duck, shoot. And you're just literally trying to use voice commands
Yeah.
to like tell an autonomous robot what to do next.
Fun.
This is fun.
That will be the future.
That'll be
I
super
mean,
fun.
may it come quicker because save human lives. But Jesus, it's kind of scary.
Kind of scary.
Next,
Until
Boss
it
Town
starts-
Dynamics, Frontlines.
Front lines.
Boss Town Dynamics 3.
Yeah, it's scary until you turn it into Call of Duty. That's
yeah,
fun.
Yeah. There's like a 10-year lag, right? Before
Call of
war is
Duty
okay to be.
Primal.
Yeah, like how long between a war and being Call of Dutyfied?
Call of Duty-fied.
Yeah, like is there a grace period? Or, like,
No, because they did the future. So like, unfortunately,
according to lives.
everything
Yeah,
but-
but the future doesn't count because that's speculative. you
No,
know?
everything
Yeah.
between World War II and the year 3000 is friggin'. It's like, oh wait, you do mech suits too soon.
Yeah, too.
Like it's too soon on
My
the
great
back.
grandson will have trauma about that.
Yeah, it's too soon on the back side though,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah.
after.
Yeah, too soon.
Because
It's coming up too soon.
It's coming up too soon.
Yeah, I'm pre-traumatized.
I'm
about
pre-traumatized. Yeah. I'm already offended, even though this hasn't happened yet.
that. Yeah.
Call of Duty 5.
Pre-survivor's guilt.
Man,
Man.
I
haven't played
during
Call
the
of Duty in a
pandemic,
while.
I forget the name of the Call of Duty, but it was on the iPad, and it was essentially like Warzone, but it was on the iPad, and I played probably 100 hours in that game because I was able to hook up my PlayStation controller to my iPad, and I would just play. There was one night I literally
that.
played all night sitting on my couch.
Damn, dude.
My wife, she woke up in the morning to go to work.
Just poning people on iPad though.
Yeah.
Because they're just playing on their.
Well,
freaking,
supposedly, if you're playing with a controller, you only matched up against other people with controllers.
Gotcha,
but I don't
okay.
know how accurate that
Yeah.
was.
Reminds me of PUBG mobile days.
Yeah, it was
Remember
a lot like
those?
that. Yeah,
You'd get some people on PC, some people
But it was real fun. It was a Call of
Man.
Duty. It wasn't PUBG. But
I
yeah,
miss PUBG
I haven't played that in a long
Mobile.
time.
Talk about retro game. The mobile days, dude, of PUBG.
PUBG.
Just like sitting like 7 friends deep, just all like
We did that a lot when
squadding
we went and did
We did that during
the
the shoot.
Yes,
yeah
that
the
was so
the
fun.
PUBG V2
Production.
that we did.
production.
PUBG
That was a good time.
Yeah.
We say PUBG as a
Yeah,
joke.
it's
We know
PUBG.
it's PUBG. But it's PUBG.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I think
Call of Duty Mobile. That was the name of
you
it.
guys
Yeah.
both need to check out Kingdom Come Deliverance too. I'm just
There's
gonna.
2 out
No, I
already?
know.
I'm
I
not
know.
getting paid for this.
The
but-
first game is
How much
incredible.
have you played it?
Yeah, I've played.
Have you played a lot of
I'm
it?
like halfway through the main story.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
So
favorite
I've been
part.
chipping away.
Are you playing on PC?
Yeah.
My favorite part in the first game is when you go out and you're doing a mission and they're like, "Oh, go on a hunt and get some rabbits. Go to the forest." And I'm like, "Okay." And it's like, unlike other games, it doesn't have just like a map that like updates exactly where you are with pinpointing. So I like walk out and I think I'm walking into the forest and I just get like literally get lost and I'm like,
lost.
I have no idea where my character. I'm in this.
Where the hell
Like
do
I don't even
go?
see any animals and I just like literally got lost in the game and it was like I was just like, finally, hell yes. Like I hate constantly looking at a mini map in a game. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
freaking annoying. Always looking down and being like, oh, where's the little objective marker? And you just like mindlessly like run through everything until you hit the marker. It's like I hate that mechanic. Ruins games.
That's
it takes
true.
it really it does like when it comes to exploring things or like just like even doing a mission. It's just like it
Are you
turns.
talking about having the compass marker? Like
Yeah,
where-
like
yeah.
a true objective marker like ruins games. Like it ruins
Interesting.
games. It makes it so you never focus on
You can turn
what
them
you're
off.
doing and what you're playing. I know,
Yeah.
but the games, but they don't build games to turn
guess-
them off.
yeah,
You know, they're
yeah.
not like.
It's kind of like
fleshed
how
out
I
enough.
feel like sometimes a running mechanic, even though we use it, it can ruin the game. Like you kind of don't see the scene. Like if you're just sprinting through a place, So yeah, I can see what you mean.
I don't know, but
But-
either way, it's Kingdom Come kind of solves that though.
Yeah,
overall.
I mean they do have the compass markers, but
do.
honestly, it's kind of like a medieval life simulator sometimes, and I'm grateful for them for that reason. Because
Yeah, I mean, like a compass marker. That's as long as it's not in 3D space on your screen.
yes,
I'm cool with it.
totally. Yeah, they don't have that. Thank
Yeah.
God. There's very little HUD. In fact, there's no aiming HUD. Nothing.
There's not even aiming. I know.
Dude,
it's so
I
great.
point blanked a guy with a freaking rifle in that game because they have black powder now. Because they had those what are they
'Cause
called
time-
arquebuses or whatever. Because time, yeah.
Time.
Time.
moves
Talking
on.
about Call of Duty, there should be a medieval version.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, these 2 muggers attacked me on the road.
Oh.
And they were running down the road towards me, and I'm loading my little rifle, pouring the black powder. I'm like, geez, I hope I can load this in time for this guy to run up on me, swords drawn, full armor. And I get it loaded and cocked just in time, and I touch my little match down, and I blow this guy away. And his skin map instantly turns to gore map.
Oh,
in
whoa.
the game because I just hit him point blank.
Oh my God.
With this rifle, he keels
Jesus
over.
Christ.
He's like, "Ugh," and his friend's like, "You monster!" and just drops his weapon and runs into the woods. And I was sitting there I kind of am a monster actually. And his friend's like, "Ugh."
It was
but
self-defense.
I was like, dang, these things are powerful, dude. But very fun game.
That's
That's my little gun story.
sick story, bro.
Thanks, dude. It was a good gaming moment.
How big is
I'll
that
check
game,
out Adamfall. That
map
looks
wise?
cool.
Does it feel like you're literally on the countryside of Germany
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
extending out into the distance
They
forever?
rebuilt a bunch of it's I think Czech Republic or
Yeah.
Poland or something.
Czech Republic.
Okay.
They rebuilt pretty like accurately in terms of like what towns and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, you can look at the
Oh, I've
real.
heard about that. Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
they're from there, so it's
Right.
like their home. That they have the castles,
Yeah,
they
that's
can
cool.
go measure it and whatever. But yeah, it's.
I've just seen a few screenshots, and I just remember thinking, wow, I thought this was a photo at first.
It looks
Like they
amazing.
nailed that sort of like atmospheric fall off into the distance.
The lighting is whoever like did the lighting and like cinematography and color, whatever.
That's cool.
Is amazing.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
They know what they're doing.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 specifically.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's a good time if you liked like Morrowind and like kind of more hardcore RPGs with a lot of inventory management. And
Maybe this is what
story.
I need. Maybe this is what I'm missing
I feel
from
like,
my life.
dude, this might be a good palate cleanser for you because the story also really is good.
I know.
As always.
You could find like
Remember
maybe
when you
search reviews or
sneaking
something
around
like
like
that,
in a
like
church and
vistas.
stuff?
Dude,
and-
there's a sneak mission that literally took me 3 days to get past. It made me so angry, but then the feeling when I finally got through it, I was
Dude,
like,
Henry.
yes.
it's just Henry. It's not like a cool guy with a crazy name
just
or
Henry,
a face
man.
tattoo. It's
He's
just
just
Henry.
But
Just
you can,
Henry.
yeah,
So
it's a
sick.
fun time.
What a
It's
great
fun
game.
time.
Oh my! Oh, stop! Christian, don't play it, or else I'm gonna buy it.
Dude, he gets smart in this game, dude.
He gets smart in the
gets smart.
game. Oh, that dog!
Dude, that dog's doing
Dude, the
nothing.
dog attacks. are
Stop!
kinda
Stop!
janky.
Stop! Stop! I can't see this anymore. It hurts my
Oh,
soul.
Keep going.
Oh,
Keep going. I want to
yeah,
see more.
you have a dog you can sick on guys now, which is pretty
This game
cool.
is so
Can the
cool.
dog die?
Fine. He runs away into the woods.
No,
If
because
he
if I
gets
watch
hurt?
this anymore, I'm not gonna play the game. I'm just gonna like leave and go to Europe and go on a
Go
hike.
to- That's honestly the best part is just the environments in the game, like interiors, exteriors, everything's rendered so beautifully. It's like it just
wanna
looks
see the
better than most
vistas.
movies. I don't know.
Where's a
like,
good viewpoint?
You saw your every frame's a viewpoint.
No, like where you see into the
Oh,
distance.
yeah,
We're on top of
yeah.
a hill and you see all the trees and
Yeah, we're-
the
yeah.
forest.
There's a nice
Look
one.
at that! Look at
Yeah.
that beautiful
Dude,
shit.
you can go in that, dude. You can. There's a whole sneak mission in that castle that's like,
I'm gonna sneak up all
Dude,
of
you're
them.
gonna
I'm gonna
sneak
be
up in there,
sneaking
dude.
around
yeah,
everywhere.
dude.
I'm gonna be
It's
pressing
it's a
B
good
to
time.
crouch for hours tonight.
Sam, is it true you're
Enjoy.
moving to Malaysia?
Oh yeah, I heard
So
about
true.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. 100% true. The rumors are true.
Oh,
And
Plum Tumley, you joker.
oh plum.
Plum. Up to your
Oh,
old
plum.
tricks. Wait, are you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang,
No,
dude. When
no,
did you
I'm
decide
gonna
that?
finish this video. I'm gonna finish
Okay,
this silly
nice.
video,
Yes.
and then talk about the existential crisis of VFX artists.
Yeah. Well, so YouTube recommended you this idea, right?
Dude,
Tell us a little bit about
I
this.
can't. I'll do the abridged version.
Okay,
Since
just
since the
teaser.
cast is coming to a close today, but basically, I'm specifically wearing this shirt today because
Oh yeah.
I don't even know if I'm a VFX artist anymore.
But your shirt.
No, this shirt hasn't even gone on sale yet, but
Comes
it
Soon
will.
though,
it
within
will,
like the next week or two.
I think in
We're waiting for the little prints to
In a
finish
week.
selling.
Basically
two.
a week.
Which,
from,
speaking
a
of
week
which,
from this
before we
weekend.
go on, it's like
A week from
the
this
little
weekend,
mini
this-
figures from the 3D printed stop motion video are up for sale still.
Yes.
It's one of those things where, as of Friday, April 4th, at the end of that, we will just tally up all of the ones that have sold, and we will make that many, and we'll never make
Okay.
any more after that. So
ever again,
they're still on sale. You have a chance to go pick one up. I'm going to sign every single one.
which is crazy, but true.
Carpal tunnel.
Not that crazy. It won't take that long to sign them all. I'm just signing the base plates.
Mm.
But yeah, pick one up. Quarterdigital.store.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
But then
Been putting
after that's
hairs.
done, this T-shirt's gonna go on sale.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a VFX artist.
Yeah, I'm a VFX
Yeah, I got
artist.
Steamboat
React
Willie
viewer.
on my shirt.
Yeah,
Yes.
my VFX artists React viewer. I can't wait. No, this
It just
is
says
stupid.
React Viewer way tiny.
Look at this. Disney doesn't own this anymore.
No.
This is ours.
No.
It's
Oh
a
my
Steamboat
God.
Willie.
It
And
says SW.
and Wren looked at the first version of the shirt and he's like, I don't know. Like, I'm worried that Disney will come after us. 'cause
Well, the first version
Yeah.
of the shirt was Mickey Mouse,
Steamboat
not
Willie.
Steamboat
Okay.
Willie.
and I looked at it and I was like, you're right. It kind of is Mickey. So I went through and I specifically made sure his eyes were fully black.
Yeah.
And I made sure he had the dark gloves, which Steamboat Willie
Yeah.
has.
And
I
a hat.
Made
Mine
sure
with
he's
the
got a sailor
SW.
cap
Yeah.
that specifically has his initials,
Yes.
SW.
Yes.
Because we
No
don't
confusing
want,
that here.
This is absolutely Steamboat Willie, and this is absolutely our right to sell this.
And he is
100%.
absolutely a VFX artist. In case there's
React
any
viewer.
confusion.
Yeah.
React Viewer. It doesn't say.
I
that,
mean,
I'm
like, what's
sorry.
the difference between the two, Mickey and Steamboat Willie? That's in the eye of the beholder. Yeah.
Well, we have a whole video explaining the difference.
Yep.
Came out like a year and a half ago.
Oh yeah.
where
this-
Jake,
and yet
the
this
lawyer,
shirt comes
broke
out,
down
yeah.
the difference
Yeah.
between Steamboat Willie and Mickey
We'll have
Mouse
to put
and why
that right
the
in the
copyright was
description.
expiring.
So people can reference it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, so
cool.
that shirt should go on sale in like a week. And are we selling the tank top version of it too?
Yeah, tanks and shirts. Yeah, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sweet.
Hell
Dude,
People are
for
gonna
our
love
summer
it.
bods, dude.
For also, yeah. So I guess I'm not really gonna get too deep into this
Okay.
stuff
Yeah.
because I'm actually gonna film the video right after the podcast here,
Okay.
and we'll
Hopping into
get
it?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Nice.
set up a little thing and film a bit, but I think the thesis is strong, which is what is the thesis?
The thesis is.
I mean, the personal thesis is I spent 4 years learning a particular set of skills in software only for AI to usurp it. That's one of the theses.
Yes.
And then the
Yeah,
other
I think that's a
thesis
compelling one.
is that there's a thing that YouTube is doing, which is
The
the beginning of
inspiration
the end of content.
The inspiration.
Yeah.
I think that's a separate video idea.
YouTube
They're,
is
they're one and the same because
eating
Really?
itself. Yeah.
yeah.
Basically.
Well, they
Not
are
really.
they're-
One's an actual like tool to make videos. The other one is just a suggestion for what videos to make.
exactly, but there's actually something that connects the two of them.
AI.
Because one of the suggestions they suggested happens to be
oh yeah, the
a
future.
title that closely mirrors what is actually happening in real life and what I'm actually going
So
through.
for those of you who don't know,
Yeah.
YouTube has a new tool out that is like an AI-driven suggestion feature that
Inspiration
like
tab.
basically
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
at your most popular videos, your audience, and all that stuff, and suggests video titles, thumbnail ideas, outlines
yeah,
for your video.
To do
Yeah,
that, though,
I don't
YouTube
wanna get
has to
into
have
it.
trained
just
a
saying,
model
that's
on
a
us.
feature,
That's
and
the weird part.
Yeah.
You're kind of going off of
break
that.
it down.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to think that
the end of the world as we
YouTube
know
thinks
it.
that people need that.
Yeah.
Is hilarious because what it offers is total garbage. To be totally honest, I mean, to be honest, it's
Par for the course.
like it inspired me to make a video about it only because of how preposterous and absurd it was. Not because the actual ideas themselves were good, but because of just it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I can't wait.
I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to see what you also. I mean, in the video, you're going to be teaching some real AI workflows and showing some
A
real
little bit.
work, though.
There's a little bit of that in there.
that
for
I
sure.
think is actually impressive. So I mean,
think-
it's kind of it's an odd video combination.
It's an odd
but-
video combination, but they all
It
work
works.
together. It
It
all works
does
together.
work, yeah.
It's the same thing. AI is coming for your jobs. It actually is. It's
My
actually
gosh.
taking my job.
Yeah,
AI took my job today.
AI took
Except-
my job.
But then I
You're
did a
now-
cool
you adapted.
I did a cool Aikido move on the
the
AI
title.
as it come to took my job.
Yeah.
And now I hold it hostage.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause wait,
did an
now I'm
Aikido
actually
move.
making a video about the AI. Wait, oh my god.
Steven Seagal waved my hands
Yeah.
in front of it, and it just miraculously front flipped into the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's what I want. Andy says what he wants is a video exactly what an AI couldn't predict, even if those videos are about AI. I guess. Yeah, I mean, there's not much that they can't predict now.
I mean, isn't that basically what we've done for years
Yeah,
now?
that's a
Every video
normal
we put
video,
out,
yeah.
AI wouldn't have predicted because it was original.
Oh, yeah.
AI
least
can't
when we
predict
put out
can't
original
predict
videos.
this.
Because this is the end of the podcast. The
Oh,
end.
no.
Psych. Actually, it's a little more. There's a little more. Guys, this is the end of the
I mean, it
podcast.
could be the end.
So thanks for joining us. And if you're on YouTube, that's cool. If you're on Spotify, that's cool. But if you were watching this on corridordigital.com, you could take part in the live chat with us. And also the post show, which is just about to happen, where we're
Yeah.
going to hop in the chat and see what's up with everybody today.
It's funny you say that because I was just about to answer some questions that are coming in
Exactly.
hot.
You got to be there
Dang.
for the
Oh no,
pre show.
So-
it's ending.
Real quick though, we're also going to be at NAB Monday.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
NAB.
forget.
NAB.
Come to the Puget
Nab.
booth if you
Nab,
want to
nab, nab.
meet
If you're in
Nico,
Nab.
myself,
Monday
Ren,
and
Nick.
Tuesday, right?
Puget.
Yep.
Puget
Monday.
Systems is where the party's at.
Puget booth. That's where it's going to go down.
No,
We're going to
really.
do some AI magic shows.
AI
I think,
magic shows.
Like what time on Monday?
I think it's going to be like noon to 2, but don't quote me on that. We're still
Noon
locking
to
in
2?
the actual
Noon to
thing.
do.
Yeah. So if you're going to NAB, just look up Puget, Puget Systems,
Forget.
Yep.
and look at their schedule for us.
Yeah,
See you
we'll
guys
be there 2 days. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
If you know how to play air guitar, come show us what you got.
Yeah.
Because
We'll turn
We're
it
gonna
into
make
Are
it
you
something.
going to do an
sound
air
like-
guitar competition?
yes, we
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Hell yeah!
yeah.
Are you bringing you have to bring a guitar then, right?
Maybe I think it can just do it if people like hold it and like.
No.
So I'm doing some tests.
Oh, I mean, I guess, but even still, bringing a prop guitar.
Yeah,
that's
we
the
could do it.
funniest thing for
or
NAB.
a cardboard guitar.
Where
you know,
everyone,
like
people
one
walk
of
on
those
stage and do
guitars.
Exactly, yeah.
and then you
we-
open the file and we get to watch them play.
the concert. Yeah,
Like,
it'll
and
be
it's
great.
so fast. Oh, that's so good. In fact, that's a whole idea, by the way, of like
AI concert.
here it's an AI talent show, or
AI talent show.
where
Oh
everyone
my
does the thing
God.
on stage,
so
and then
good.
we see
Yeah.
what happens.
Like
later.
you put a picture of yourself in, then like make me dance good.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
Make
all right.
me do ballet.
Hell yes.
Wait,
You guys are gonna have a great time.
can we do an AI talent show for our next challenge video, Sam?
Okay, great.
Corridor
That
Crew
actually might
AI
be
talent show. That's the name of the video. This is so good, dude.
Okay. Sweet.
Get out of here.
Let's do it.
We'll do the
What
first
the heck?
test.
All right, guys.
at
Till
NAB
next time.
Vegas.
Peace.
Thank you all.
Join us
Thanks
for
for
Live show
watching.
begins in 3,
Live
2.
show.
The after hours show. The after post show begins in 3, 2, 1.